Hola everyone, my name is Carla Solórzano and today we're talking about your venue search. And with me is wedding planner and venue owner, Aneesa Glines. Hi Aneesa, welcome, bienvenida. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much. I'm thrilled to be with you.
I'm so excited to talk about venues today.
My favorite topics.
I know, exactly. You're the perfect person. You have so much experience. You've done you've done some amazing work on some of the properties you guys had or have. So before we jump into the actual topic,
Sure.
I want to ask you a little bit more about you, because you, besides being a venue owner, you also a wedding planner, and that's how we met.
Yes.
To me, that's the perfect combo, because it's the perfect combo. We'll talk about that later. But tell me a little bit more about you and how you got to be a wedding planner and a venue owner.
Sure, absolutely. So we started the wedding planning company back in 2015. And so my background, I was doing a lot of nonprofit coordination for different events. And then I was the first of my friend group who got married. And so after that, naturally being the event planner with the nonprofit and the only married friend, I started to do a lot of weddings for my community. So that was from 2013 to 2015. And by the time I reached almost 10 weddings there, then it was one of the moms of the bride who said, you know, you're really good at this. You shouldn't just do it for your friends. And I thought, no, I didn't get a hospitality major. Nobody's going to hire me. But then shortly after began, and was so fortunate that people took a risk on me before we were really established. And then come a few years later, we started to build our team, starting to add other planners to the list. And we found that there was definitely a shortage of venues when we were trying to help our couples find the perfect one that crossed off all the boxes for them. So it was in the right location and the right size and had the right policies. So just felt like that would be a wonderful path for us to go down. That would pair really well with the wedding planning experience, us knowing what the couples were looking for.
Yes.
So instead of going straight to building our own, we first took the opportunity to lease a property and use that to learn what's it like to run a venue. Do we even enjoy doing that? Are we good at it? Be able to save some money and then be able to purchase our own venue, which we did last year.
And it's beautiful. I haven't been there personally, but I've seen.
We gotta fly you over.
Yes, yes. Okay, so there's so many options out there. I'm sure over there in North Carolina, where you're at, is the same here as California. There is like for every taste, every style, anything, right? Venues out there. For you as a wedding planner and a venue owner, what are some tips to help couples to pick the right venue for them? Because again, there's so many options and sometimes they're like, they don't even know.
Yes, there are so many for sure. A few things to start with. So first of all is knowing your location, because that can really open up so many or really limit you. If it's super important that you are walking distance to a hotel in a downtown, then you're only going to be looking at one pool, versus if you have no limitations and you're open to anywhere in the state or even country, then obviously that's going to greatly impact your venue search. So I'd say location is the first thing. Second would be the size of the venue. So if you are having 200 people, it's not even worth your time going to tour venues that can only hold 100. It's important that you know that. And vice versa, if you're going for a 40-person one, maybe some of these huge conference centers that can hold up to 400 won't feel right for your more intimate setting. So definitely, so location, size. Next would definitely be budget, of course, knowing a price range that you're open to and that you and your family can afford. And then touring those venues, asking first for the price instead of going, falling in love, and then learning it's $10,000 more that you have to spend. That could be heartbreaking. So that's another great point. But I always say it's important for budget to truly compare apples to apples when it comes to venues. So often we can say, oh, that one's 15,000, it's out of my price range. But that includes, your alcohol or your linens or, anything else that then it's like compared to this other place that doesn't even have tables and chairs, you would end up spending that much to, be at the same thing. So make sure it's a true comparison. And then last, I would say style. There's so many different styles. Here we have from barns to hotels to historic homes to more industrial. So making sure that you know the overall look you're going for and the venue fits well with that.
Exactly. Those are perfect. I love them. And to me is also talking about styles. I know one of the things that sometimes it's really hard for couples is like one thing and another one like another thing.
Yes.
So it's like, well, kind of meet in the middle. There are venues there that are a little more versatile and you can do more
Yes.
stuff with it. I know a lot of people like outdoors, especially
Right.
now because of COVID.
Mhm.
But also, think about the weather. Anyways, there is one of the things you mentioned before that is so true. A lot of couples think that having an all-inclusive venue is going to be more expensive than, renting a venue and then bringing all your vendors. And that's not necessarily true. So what are your thoughts about that?
That's a great point. So different venues, for sure, the all-inclusive price can end up being very similar, even less than sometimes you would end up spending. The main thing is that once again, you're doing a true comparison. If your catering quote, your bar quote, and your DJ adds up, and that's everything that was in the all-inclusive price, maybe you might be getting a discount there. But you have to make sure it is exactly what you're looking for. So hotels, sometimes they only specialize in one type of cuisine. And if you want a very specific food, maybe that's not something they can provide. Or the DJ, maybe they are not bilingual and that's very important to you and your family. So you have to make sure that what's all inclusive is truly what you would be looking for.
Yeah. And another thing, it's I see when couples are looking at venues, of course, it's the first time planning an event, of this caliber.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes they hear, there's always that shock. Oh, is that, I don't know, $80 per person? And they're like, oh, but they don't think everything is included. And then also think about it. When you go out on a date with your fiance, how much do you guys spend?
So true.
Nice dinner, drinks, and dessert. How much are you spending? So think about that. Sometimes we don't see it that way because for us it's like, oh my God, so much money. That's it.
Yeah.
So I love that. And now that we're giving so much advice, why do you think? And this may be biased because we're two planners. But hey,
I can't help it.
I have to ask the question.
Yes.
As a venue owner, let's try to put you on that side. Why do you think it's important to have a planner or a coordinator? And I'm going to throw a second question in there because I think it ties in together. Really quick, what is the difference between a venue coordinator and a wedding coordinator?
So good. Yes, this is one of the conversations we have on every tour. So actually at our venues, to not confuse those two roles, we have always called it a venue host. I love that term because it's truly like they are hosting you in the space. So they're helping with parking, they're helping with temperatures, adjusting the lighting, checking that the bathrooms remain clean. They can show you where the broom is if something spills, So they are your host. They know this space and they're there to do anything that is directly related to the venue. This is so different from the coordinator because you have never met your venue host before that day. So of course, now they cannot be directing your ceremony, putting up all your decorations. They can't coordinate the day. That needs to be somebody who's been working with you for months leading up to the special day. So that would be your wedding coordinator or your wedding planner.
Yes.
We make that required at our venues, and we don't require that it's us. We just say you need to have a professional wedding coordinator or planner. And that is because there is so much unknown when you're planning a wedding if you haven't done it before. Just as we hire professionals when we're renovating the house, have a concern about something for anything, get a professional who knows this, who can help guide you through, who can help say, oh, these are common mistakes. This is something that's worth investing in. This is a way that you might want to save money. So they can help you with that. But the main reason on a venue side that we require the coordinator is for the smoothness of that day, that the day is run seamlessly. If there is not someone saying, okay, time to do this is where you're supposed to be, now it's time to light the candles, it's not up to the venue to know to do all that. Like I said, it's a different relationship. And if there's not a person there, then that's falling to the mom, the sister, the best friend, God forbid, the couple, So definitely we want someone who takes that stress off and who helps it run smoothly. So that is just invaluable, as well as leading up to it. I mean, especially with COVID, our planners, who are working with the couples are prepping them. Okay, this is what it's going to look like. This is when people need to wear the mask. This is how we need to space the tables. If you're all on your own, it is so overwhelming and you truly don't know what is allowed, what is safe. So it's best to have somebody who's doing this, every weekend, every month, who's in the trenches, having all the conversations, doing all the research to support you.
Yeah, absolutely. And just another quick question. You guys have less restrictions than us here in California. How has it been going back to with COVID restrictions? I'm sure it's so much different, right?
So different, yes. So, and honestly, who knows? We might be going backwards back to you all because our cases are still going up. But we have right now 30% capacity of the venue is what we're allowed to have. So at the Grand Mill, it's 240 seated. So 30% of that is 72 people. So that's where we're at. So it's great because it leaves lots of rooms to put the tables 6 feet apart, that people walking in between the tables aren't right up in your face, that the servers can get through. It's nice and spacious.
That's good.
But it's very challenging. We need to wear masks the whole time, sanitize, all the food stations look different, dancing looks different. So it's a lot for sure. So we still have many couples who are just choosing to postpone because they would prefer to not be impacted and restricted in this way. And we support either way.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you are doing weddings. Here we're doing some.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about rain and weather plans. Woo, our favorite planners. A lot of times that get overlooked, especially here in Los Angeles.
Absolutely.
It never rains. It never rains in California, but hey, it has happened. So what do you think is important to have a rain plan or a weather plan in place?
Well, you're making me thinking about moving my business because it rains every week.
So you're the expert.
Unfortunately, but so first of all, I always tell couples, you want to love your rain plan almost just as much as your original plan. We do not want to have to devastate you and ruin your day, if it's raining out. We want to know ahead of time, this is how it's going to look. It's going to be great. We are not stressed about it, so that when we do have to make the call, it's not this emotional, heartbreaking, we've ruined your dream wedding, So for us, we have an outdoor space and an indoor space. And we tell most common is that you do an indoor ceremony, an outdoor cocktail hour, and then back inside for reception. That's very popular so that we can flip the space while the guests are outside for cocktail hour. But some choose to do an outdoor ceremony as well. The most important thing is that you have already gotten all the rentals needed. You've paid the deposit, whether that be a tent or draping, so that we have all the necessary tools to know if it's raining, do we tent that space and can we keep it outside? Is there another covered outdoor space or does it mean we have to move things inside and go ahead and make those decisions early on before you're in the moment pressed for time?
Yeah, of course. We have to make the call ahead of time, you guys. Not like
Yeah.
5 minutes before, because we won't have time to do things.
The backdrop, the chairs, the signs, all that. Yes.
Yeah, there's no
So
way. Yeah.
oftentimes people will say the night before is when we need to make that call, or sometimes, very early on that morning. But especially if a tent's going to need to be set up, that can't happen in an hour. So we have to make the call in plenty of time for that.
Yeah, that's true. And here, it's the same, and usually, again, it never rains in California, but we always try to have a rain plan, and we start looking at the weather a week before, and I, as a planner, start stressing out a week before. It's like, I do spraying and doing all my, I don't know, so it doesn't rain, because I know, even though we want you to love your rain plan as much as the other one, I know deep in their hearts, if they have vision, it's gonna make them sad. But after a while,
it makes us sad.
Yeah,
we totally get it.
Yeah, but after a little while, you realize that it's like they forget and they start enjoying the moment. It's still gonna be beautiful.
So true.
Yeah, but it's important to have that. Don't forget to have your rain plan.
Agreed.
Aneesa,
yes,
as you mentioned at the beginning, you have worked with venues before, but you recently opened a new venue that is your own. And I love this. I was looking at Instagram because you really did a great job documenting, the entire process and how you thought of every single detail, even to the charger for the phone in the freaking bridal suite. I mean, it's amazing, like built-in, it was amazing. So I want you to tell us a little bit about your thought process and how was the journey of making it all come to reality, as beautiful as it is.
Thank you so much. Well, that's really where the benefit of being the planner comes in. Is I've spent 5 years, hundreds of weddings, listening to people's feedback of, oh, we love this about the venue, or man, I really wish it had this, or that was really inconvenient. And slowly just been taking mental notes along the way so that then I could make it come true. As vendors, so often we are sitting in a cleaning closet, to have our dinner, or on the floor in the corner, in horrible locations because we don't want to be in front of the guests. So then it, of course, made me think we have to have a small room where the vendors can eat their meal and where they can put their stuff, So often groomsmen are coming up to me, oh, my phone's dying. Do you have a charger? Go ahead and have the cubbies with the charger, for them, or having a changing table in the restroom so that it is more family friendly. So really along the way, we've just tried to take notes on the things that we see our couples loving or wishing that they had. And the great part is that we can always continue to make improvements, so it's been enjoyable as we get feedback a few times. Oh, no problem. We can change that. And we have definitely wanted to have a very collaborative approach that people felt like they were part of it. So from Instagram posts to what color the ceiling should be or what ideas people had, it made it so enjoyable. And now on tours, I can't tell you how many times people come in and they say, I voted that the ceiling was white. I hope this happened. So they feel ownership and that they're a part of it, which they so are. And we truly value everyone's opinions who helped us get where we are.
I love it. And you guys, I'm going to put below on the description, I'm going to link to Aneesa's venue and the Instagram profile so you can check it out, because it's beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Okay, Aneesa, I know you have to go and take care of some clients, but I have 2 more questions.
Okay.
Yay! So my first question is, they're personal questions, but fun.
Okay.
What is your favorite food? Like the favorite from all times?
So hard. Well, obviously chocolate.
Okay, but that's not
If
food.
it's gonna be a sweet, it's edible. No, okay. If I had to have a meal, okay, my comfort meal is chicken Alfredo.
Okay.
I love Alfredo sauce. Yes, that's a good one. It's hard to say favorite because it depends on the mood, but that's a good comfort food.
Right. Yeah, I love pasta
Yes.
too. Pasta, anything for me.
Yes.
Yeah. And how about your favorite cocktail or drink?
This is widely known about me is I'm a Dr. Pepper addict. I love
Oh.
Dr. Pepper. So that's for sure. It's my favorite source of caffeine.
Okay, and you drink that like every day?
Unfortunately,
Okay.
we all have our issues. But
Yeah, I have coffee.
That's mine. I live with it. Yeah, I pick Dr. Pepper over coffee.
Okay, good to know. So when I see you, I know what to bring. Hey, Aneesa.
Yeah, you'll see it in my hand. Yes.
I love it. Is there anything else, Aneesa, you would like to add?
I think we covered it. One last thing I think about is, of course, venues are always making improvements and, always changing and adding things. But it's important that you book the venue with how it is at that moment. I think sometimes people, like, of course, in my mind, I have so many things I hope to do in the future, but we can't always guarantee when those will happen. So making sure that if you have a few red flags, oh, we don't love the paint color, we don't love how this looks, making sure you're honest with yourself of, we don't know for sure when those things might change. And so if it's not for you, like one of the things we want to do is eventually cover the backyard. We'd love to have a covered outdoor space. I know that some clients don't end up booking us because we don't have that right now.
Right.
And I don't want to promise them it's absolutely going to be by this time because construction is never on time and life is very uncertain. So it's important those values, the things that are important to you, and then really evaluate the space and make sure you are truly in love with what you're booking because the venue sets the tone for the whole event. So we want it to be something that you really love.
Yeah, you're so right. And where can people find you, Aneesa?
Yeah, so our venue is called The Graham Mill. And so that's our Instagram, that's our website, and then our planning company is Harmony Weddings and Events.
And I'm going to, again, link right here.
Thank you.
I'm going to link to all of those below so you guys can reach out directly to Aneesa if you have questions, if you're in North Carolina, or if you want to get married over there.
Come on over, destination.
Yeah, destination is a beautiful venue. Like really, I haven't been there personally again, but you can you go look at the photos and then let me know.
You're so sweet. You're so sweet.
Aneesa, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. I know you were so busy with everything going on right now that it took us a little time to schedule our interview, but it worked out perfectly.
Thank you so much.
Again, thank you for your knowledge. Thank you for your time. And I hope to see you soon.
Absolutely. It was an honor to be with you. Thank you for asking me.
Thank you. Bye.
Yes, bye.
Gracias for tuning in. If this video was valuable for you, make sure to like and comment below. And of course, subscribe. See you next time. Bye.